for next statement looping. See, for next statement looping. So the purpose of this is to repeat a block of statement for a specified number of times. All right, so condition is given there that how many times a program or a block of code to repeat. Clear? It repeats a block of code for a specified number of times. A number of times can specified huncha. So we can see it here. Syntax. This for, when we program pointer will reach here, our loop starts. All right, and whatever the commands and whatever the instructions are here, they all gonna be execute. They all are going to be run. Okay, and this next and then counter here, this is the ending or exit of a loop. This next will send our loop for head. This is the starting and this is the ending, right? So when a pointer will reach here, all right, after this we'll again go back up in starting of our loop. We'll check if a condition is true or not, condition satisfied or not, and then we will see what we're gonna do. So see here, counter, where counter is a numeric variable used for loop count. Counter is a numeric variable. This you can see here in yellow color. For counter, next counter, these counters are the variable which are used for loop count. Kati choti loop repeat huncha. It will count and then store here the number of times the loop repeat itself. Clear? Sophia, what is this numeric variable? What do you mean by a numeric variable?
The signer.
Hazar?
Signer.
Sorry, a little bit clear. It's not clear. Your voice is not clear.
The variable. The variable.
Okay, so students, that's why I'm going very slow. I'm only taking your class 3 days only, and for this 30 minutes I'm giving you only like 2 slides. See, because I want you to be sincere, I want you to be smart, talent, hard work. You just have to read this variable I'm teaching you from class 8. Variable is a storage or a container kind of that which will hold a value. अब कस्तो खालको value hold गर्छ. If a variable is holding or storing numbers, that is numeric variable. And if a variable is going to store text, characters, string values, that type of variable is known as a string variable. All right, so please do not forget this anymore. All right, I know you will bounce back tomorrow, right? Tomorrow I will ask you again. So now after this, counter is a variable used for counting a loop, how many times it repeats itself. And then there's a start and end. You see here start and end. So from start, these are the initial and final value. Simple, like in your science speed, right? Initial acceleration, final acceleration, something like that. So starting and ending, you know that well. And there is increment slash decrement is the amount the counter change each time through loop. So while looping, what happens there, sometimes we need a step, like how many steps we have to jump. All right, if we are jumping step 2, that means we'll write step 2. If we are going to jump 5 steps, we'll write step 5. For in case of decrement, we have to write negative symbol. For example, step -2 and rest like step -5, something like that. Clear? So let's say example here. this particular example here. So this is a simple example of looping statement. All right, so here see 1 to 5 starting from a 1 and it will end at 5. So just by looking at this program, we knew that this loop is going to run for 5 times. All right, and there no step is mentioned. Yeah, kuna step mentioned China. That means by default, it is going to like add 1. It will jump, it will do a forward jump. That is 1 step. It will jump 1 step forward. If step is not mentioned, you see here this place. You see at this location here, no step is mentioned. So that means by default, this program will jump 1 step. Okay. So here, this is our program. And I have taught you about the dry run as well. Let's see the dry run here. All right. So we know that for a dry run, we have to make column, and that column will be based on variables here. So see, first variable we found it. This is this variable. Let me take another one. This I variable. All right, this variable we found, and then again we have this statement. This is another. This is going to be another column in our dry run, and then this next is this next I. Okay, you see here, I is here. All right, this variable we need, and then we have to print a value for our answer, and then this one next I, this is the place where a value of variable is going to upgrade. All right, so here next I equals to I plus 1. I plus 1 we are doing, this is by default because there is nothing like a step is mentioned here. All right, when there is a step, no step is mentioned, that means we are going to do plus 1 by default itself. Clear? So let's see now how this program is going to work. Okay, so what happens, this is not visible, let me take another one, a little better. So when we start this program, all right, so first line will compile this CLS, and then our interpreter will go to second line. This for I, value of I is 1 to 5. That means value of I is 1. This is checked. Value of I is 1. Done. All right. So starting value is what? 1. We have written here 1. And then after that, our program will move to second step. This step also done. Now in third line, there is print I. What is the value of I? You see here, value of I is 1. So 1 is printed. Okay. After that, our interpreter will reach next line, that is next I. Fourth line is next I. So here, a value of I is going to increment by 1 because jumping step is not mentioned here, so that's why add 1. So value of I is already 1. 1 plus 1, value of I becomes 2. All right, I को value about 2 भयो. After that, from this step, because this is loop, all right dear students, यो के हो, this is loop. Loop के हुन्छ, repeat हुन्छ. Loop repeats itself. So now after this our program will again go here, this step here at the starting of program. All right, so in this time value of I has already becomes 2. This is Now from here, when this pointer sends at the beginning of program, it sends value of I as 2. All right, and it checks a condition. Condition is satisfied because 2 belongs in between 1 and 5. This is true. Okay, so after that, again this program will repeat itself. The same process will happen again. Now it says print I. So value of I is, this time it is incremented as 2. This prints. And then after this, next we'll go here. Okay, and then this will happen. After that, so same process again. Value of I is now 3. Condition checking. So 3 condition satisfied, done. So when condition satisfied, we'll enter inside a loop. Okay, so what the loop statement said, it says print I. Value of I is now 3, printed. So this will repeat. So this will repeat, but the thing is, until when? कहिलेसम्म? तबसम्म जबसम्म I को value satisfy गर्छ. And value of I is satisfied up to 5th. So next, now value of I is 6. You see here, value of I becomes 6. Now again, our pointer will, our loop is going to at the starting of loop. Okay, and it will check here. Value of I is 6. Is 6 is equal to 5, or in between? Is 6 falls in between this 1 to 5? No. So condition does not match. So this happens here false. All right. So this happens here false, and after that our program will not go inside a loop. Our program will come outside of a loop. Outside of a loop, what is the statement there? There is a end statement, and this end statement says, end of our program. So after this dry run is the background process. Computer does it for you, and then we have this output screen. And now this output screen will basically depend on what command we have provided. Okay, so after print statement, if we provide there this semicolon, we'll get this output. All right, and without semicolon, we'll get our output in this manner, vertical. All right, students, be clear. When you provide a semicolon, our output will be in a horizontal pattern, and without semicolon, it is going to be like this. All right, so let's do this much.